got a stank ass walk and a reckless ass mouth. And my shit so tight when we fuck my pussy talk.
Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Misha. My hair name is Touched Stylez. I am a licensed hairstylist. I like to do like wigs, sew-ins, frontals, ponytails, you know, styles like that. Today I'm going to be showing y'all how to do the knotless braid on a full lace wig. First of all, I'm doing full lace wigs. I'm so happy because I was not doing full lace wigs because it's just so much work. So I never like did the full lace wigs because I was always like, you know, I don't know how to make the back look natural, or I don't know how to make it look like all scalp. But now look at that. Look at that. I took a class and I got it. And even the spots that's not like scalpiana looking, I'm gonna fix it at the end. But today I'm going to be showing you guys how to do knotless braids on a full lace wig. I'm not a braider. Like I said, I like to do hair extensions. So first of all, I'm super happy that I was able to achieve the knotless braids finally, because it was super hard for me. So when doing the knotless braid, you want to make sure that you have more than one piece of hair ready, and they all need to be different sizes. So like when you're doing the feed in, you feed in the hair. You're not only using one piece of hair and braiding all the way down. You're going to slowly feed it in. That's the same exact thing that you're going to do for knotless braids. Now when you do the regular box braids, you know, you just start at the root and you just work your way down and braid. With knotless braids, you're not going to do that. You're going to start the braid off with its natural hair. Then you're going to braid down like 2 to 3 times. Then add your first piece of hair. Your first piece of hair should be your biggest piece. You need to add in 3 pieces of hair. In the back, I use 3, but as I go up, I add in more hair because I want my back to meet with, I want my front to meet with my back. You base your pieces off of what you're going for. Like me, I wanted to do like the smaller look, but with the big parts. So my first piece of hair is like this much hair. And then my second piece of hair is like half of that. So this is my second. This is my first. This is my second. And then my third piece of hair is basically half of my second. Each piece should be half of the first one. I work my way up. I started to add more hair in too because I wanted my braids to reach all the way to the back. So like in this row, I'm adding in 4 pieces of hair instead of 3. But like my end pieces are all the same size. So your first piece should be somewhat like this, depending on what size you're going for. If you want yours like mine, your first piece needs to be this thick. Your second piece needs to be half of that. And then your third piece needs to be like this, right? And then once you work your way up to the 4s, you're going to do the same exact thing. And then that extra piece of hair is still going to be small, like your very, very, very last piece. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So what I am using jam. Just regular jam from back in the day. I have the extra hoe. And I am using my favorite edge control by Sweetie. She partnered with Kiss, the brand who got the hair dye and stuff, the lashes. I love her edge control, like her edge control work, period.com. I'm not even promoting right now, but I love her edge control. I don't really care for the lemon smell though, because this scent is weak, but other smells smell so good. This step is optional, but I feel like when I do it, it helps me get my braid easier. So I like to put the mousse or the foam, whatever you like to call it, on the section that I'm about to start braiding, just because it really helps me control. So you're going to go ahead and part that section. I am doing big squares with small braids, so I want my section to be about this big. And if you see like gold patches or makeup patches on my hair, do not worry about that. When I bleached the knots on this hair, I was really being like really careless. So I kind of made a mess, and I got to go through and fix everything up. Everything gonna get fixed when I'm done though, so just calm down. But yeah, I was rushing. That's why it's good to just take your time. Like wigs are not hairstyles that you just gonna do in an hour or 45 minutes. So just take your time and don't rush, because when you rush, it shows, and you always got to go back to fix. I like to use my edge comb because these literally get every little piece of hair that you need to get. So I like to use my edge comb, and I like to comb basically in the direction that I'm about to mold the hair. And then I like to go ahead and apply the jam first. This is jam. And go ahead and then just apply it in the motion that you're going to be like slicking the hair and braiding the hair, because it just makes the molding process easier basically. You don't want to use too much, but you don't want to use too less. You need to use just enough to where it's going to like slightly mold down that hair for you. Okay, so then you can comb it again if you want to, but now I'm going to put the edge control right on top. And that should just look like icing. Real slick. And now I'm going to go ahead and just comb everything in the way that I'm about to start braiding. Is that light enough? Okay, yeah. Now I gotta kind of push this back just a little bit so I can be able to be comfortable as I braid. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and put my hair in order so that way it's easy for me to grab once I'm braiding, because I feel like with knotless braids it's super easy to mess up your braid. Like any little piece of movement can mess up your braid for some reason. All right, so I'm just getting my 4 pieces of hair ready. All right. Now you're going to go ahead and start your braid. And even if you feel like the middle is starting to mess up, it's okay, because you can fix that. But you want to start braiding the natural hair. I'm not using weave yet. Start braiding the natural hair just so that you can do the knotless effect. And if it starts to mess up, just rub it in place like I did. You know, try to fix as much as you can before you like secure that braid. Because if you secure it too much without fixing it, it's gonna be too messed up. And you're gonna braid down like 2 to 3 times, 2 to 4 times. When I say that, what I mean is braid the natural hair like a regular braid, and make sure you braid like 2 to 4 times before you add in your first piece. Now you guys can see like where it look a little messed up with my gap and stuff from where I was braiding. All I'm gonna do, you can see if it'll slick into place without any extra product, but I like to put extra product just because I want it to be super slick. So what I'm gonna do, you can do this before or after you start braiding. I'm gonna just do it now, just because if I don't do it now, I'm gonna be looking at this I'm gonna be looking at the same little spot through this whole tutorial. So I'm gonna just go ahead and do it now, just because it's a personal preference for myself. So once you put the edge control back on there to re-slick it, you're just gonna comb everything. I like to comb, and I like to use the back side of my very small comb, and I like to smooth it out just like that. Comb with the big side. Oh, excuse it, y'all, it just looks so dirty. Oh Lord. Okay, so you're gonna comb with the big side, comb, smooth it out with the baby side. You see that? And I feel like this is way easier to do since it's a wig. See that cream color because I applied makeup and stuff, you know, to go ahead and tone my wig. So that's why it's like that. Now it's time to add in your hair. This is my biggest piece. I find it easier to put edge control, or not edge control. Don't use all your edge control, sis. Okay, gem. I find it easier to put gem right on that little piece of hair that you're about to add the hair into. I find it easier to put gem right on there right before you add this piece of hair, just so the hair is not so loose and stuff. You're going to take that piece of hair, you're going to add it right here into where you're about to start braiding again. You're going to add that little piece of hair right there, and make sure you add it in underneath. Don't add it in on top, which means don't put the hair right on top like this, like across the hair like this, because it's going to be super noticeable unless it's super, you know, small enough to fit. I like to add it in underneath, meaning like I like to make sure the weave is underneath the hair strand like this, because that just gives me the most natural appearance. See, I'm adding in my weave. It's right here. I'm putting it right underneath this piece of hair, and I'm pulling this braid tight as I do this, because like I said, the knotless braids can mess up easily. So I'm pulling down as I'm adding in that piece of weave, and I'm braiding. I do feel like I added a little bit too much hair, because you could kind of see where I added that hair. I'm gonna fix that off camera though. I'm not gonna fix that on camera because I don't want to confuse nobody. But when I cut this video off, I am gonna take this braid down to make that piece of hair smaller so that it's not as noticeable when added in. But okay, I added my first piece of hair, so now you're gonna braid like 2 more times, 2 to 3 times, or when you feel that piece of hair getting super thin. Now I'm gonna add in my second piece of hair. This is the piece that's half the size of the first one. Still big. Put some hair on this piece just to cover it up, make it slick and stuff. Take this piece of hair, add it in. I'm gonna take my third piece of hair and I'm gonna add it in. I know my little braid is a little messed up, but I don't even care. Cause I don't braid, so these braids is like super bomb to me because I'm not a braider. So, let's keep braiding. Now this last braid, I'm not gonna add it up too high because my last braid is more so for me to add length onto the braid. So I'm really not gonna add my last piece of hair until I get about like right here. Add in your last piece. Remember, you're adding in 4 pieces this time because it makes the braid longer. You know, as you go up the head, the braids get shorter faster. So I'm just gonna braid this braid all the way down and I'll let you guys look at the wig. Wow, you look at me. And this is how my braids look before I've cut anything or anything like that. And that's exactly what I did to get my knotless braids. These are beginner friendly, I feel like, because I'm not a braider. I do not braid. I cannot braid. I can braid, but like, you know, I feel like people that braid, like if you braid, I feel like you're an African braider. Like, you know how their braids are perfect and straight. Like, I'm not that type of braider. I'm a lazy braider, so it's very beginner friendly. Definitely tune in. Definitely try it. Thanks for watching my video. I hope you guys learned. Leave me comments down below. Tell me if you got the if you were able to achieve your knotless braid by using this method. Let me know if you have any tips or tricks for doing knotless braids, because I honestly want to start offering these type of wigs. But I'm not really a braider, so I don't know if I'll ever like start braiding. It's not really my thing, but just let me know if y'all feel like y'all got any tips that can help me make these wigs better. Peace. Make sure you check out my website at touchedstylez.co for your latest cosmetic trends and your latest mink styles that last for over 30 days. Peace.
I got a stank ass walk and a reckless ass mouth, and my shit so tight when we fuck my pussy.